Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Today I'll be teaching you how to crochet this beautiful bruges lace blouse or dress. You can do it longer and create a dress. It's very easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're gonna need to make it. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my video in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see an English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. Then you'll find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. This is the second part for this piece. And the first part, I show you how to do this bruges lace strap, this motif, and this bruges lace strap. What I don't explain in that tutorial, that I'm going to leave the link at the end of this video, just in case you don't see in that first part, you can go there and do this, and then come back to this one to finish. And that one I didn't explain the different sizes that you can make this piece. So depending on the size, the length that you give it to this, the circumference, is the size that you're going to make this. If you do this shorter with less stitch, let's say until here, you see, this will be smaller. Okay, so depending on the increases that you do as well is the size of these pieces as you go, because you increase as you work your bruges lace. No, this part is no increases in this one, is in the bruges lace that you do the increases. If you want to do this larger, like let's say for a large, this is a medium size for myself. If you want to do this larger, you can use for reference the same as this, and then you can continue doing a few extra increases. That way this will be a little bit bigger with more room for your arms. Also, if you are a large but you want this a little bit more close in the top, you can do an extra repetition with less of this. The only thing that you will have to do an entire strip for the top, an extra strip, a shorter one in here. Okay, so I wanted to mention that before I start working the piece. Remember, at the end of the video is the link for the beginning of this beautiful design. This model is small and it fits as well, a little bit loose, but it fits. And look at the length. To continue with this, I'm going to use the same ball of yarn that I start with. If you don't see in the video for this part of the piece, I'm going to leave the link here. You're going to see an eye. You click on the eye and I will bring you here. Also, at the end of this video, I will leave the link just in case. It's the same loops and thread, wool like, simile lane, superfine 1, 100 grams, 620 meters. The color is white and is 85% acrylic, 15% nylon. And the same crochet hook, a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. You're gonna need a tapestry needle and scissors. I'm gonna start with a slip knot, and we're gonna start the repetition exactly the same, this repetition and this one more time. That way it's a little bit more lower to the shoulder. So you're gonna start on the border in one of these loops. I'm gonna pass the loop, and I'm gonna chain one. I always like to start with a loop and a chain one. That loop secure your work. I'm gonna do a single crochet. Now exactly the same, you're gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and in the next one you're gonna do 2 single crochet. You're gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the next space 2 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the next space 2 single crochet. And like that you're gonna continue. If you done this part and here and this one, you know how to continue to the next strip and this border. And I'm gonna show you what I'm doing in the other one. I still have I just was practicing what I'm planning to do. And the other one like this, and this one I start doing this. Look how nice this look. I'm gonna go all the way around. But when I record this, probably I will have to do in different parts the video, because it takes a little while just to explain only this little piece here. It takes a while to explain it really well, because you need to have every single detail, where to do the stitch, how many you have to do, and all that stuff. That's the thing about Brooke lace, that if you're doing a completely piece, you have to do in different videos, because if you do only one video, it will take forever to do, hours and hours and hours, because you need to know every single detail, because it's no like one stitch that you do it straight and that's it. This is a little bit more fiddly to work, but it's gorgeous. It worth the time. So I'm gonna continue working on this, and then I will meet you here. I'm gonna finish here with a single crochet in the same space that I started, a slip stitch in the first single crochet, slip to the chain 4 space, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then cancel the first double crochet of 3, do 2 more, and now 1, 2, and 3, and 4 chains, 3 double crochet in the 4 chain space from the round before, and 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and 3 double crochet, and so on. You will continue doing exactly the same as you did in here for 4 rounds, and then I will meet you here. I finished those 4 rounds. Now I'm gonna work on the border piece. So I'm working in the lower strap, and this time I'm doing a little bit different. And this one I did 1 in one space and 2 in the next one, 1 in this one and 2 in the next one. For this one I'm doing 1 in one space, 1 in another one, and 2 together in the next space. So 1, 1, and 2. 1, 1, and 2. And because I don't want this to be too much, that will create a wave at the end. I want this to be more less wavy, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I know what I mean. With less material. So I'm gonna continue working in the round, and hopefully I will be perfect, that I will finish with 2 together here. If it's not, don't matter, you know, don't have to be perfect. The important thing is that it's nice and round, that it's not pulling this, okay? So I'll continue working. It's exactly the same. Now I have to do chain 2, 4 double crochet, chain 5, 4 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, and so on. If you're doing this part now, it's because you already done this, so you will know what to do in here, because it's exactly the same as I work this, except that is the count of the stitches here is a little bit different. 1 and 2, and this one is 1, 1, and 2. 2 separate and 2 together. So I will work in this round, and then I will meet you here. And it was perfect. I started with 2 separate loops, and I end up with 2 together in the same space. So that was perfect. So now I'm gonna sew the 2 ends, and we have finished the top part of our piece. Once you finish, it will look like this, and look how gorgeous this look. I absolutely love it. And now we're gonna continue with the lower part, And I was thinking that this is perfect for a combination with net, because if you work this lower piece and you don't do these loops and this border, and you cast on the body, you know, you separate the body and the sleeves, it will make a beautiful summer netted crochet piece. Maybe one day I will do something like that for a tutorial, maybe. Let's see. So now I'm going to continue with the lower part. Let's see what I come up with, because this will be a surprise. I mark where I'm going to leave the arm opening. So what I did, I put this on, and then I mark around where the opening I want in the front, and then I mark the back. I left counting this until the other one. I have 20 loops and 20 loops on the other side, but I think I'm gonna move the back one more to have the back a little bit smaller, because the back is always smaller than the front, because the front we have our chest, so, or the boobies. So I had to be a little bit more space, so I think I'm gonna do that, but I'm deciding. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a work in between these loops in here, and then I show you what I do on this side to do in the other one. That way we create the arm opening. And remember, you have to measure this on your own body. You have to guide to leave the arm opening by yourself. And remember, when I recommend to do the first part, I say if you want this smaller, you can do less rows of this, and if this is smaller, the rest will be smaller, because this in my body is like this in my shoulders, little open like that. And if you do this smaller, let's say you did this smaller, and this will be smaller, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with my piece. This is what I did under this arm, and I still have to finish it, but I don't want to do that until I do the other side. That way when I try it on, I know if they are right or I have to do any changes. So what I did was, in this loop I had the marker, the green marker, and then what I did a slip stitch or a slip knot. I chained 2, and I went to the one beside to the right, and I did a single crochet, chain 2, and in that space I did my first double crochet, and I did in total of 4 double crochet inside those chain space. And then I chain 5, I did 4 double crochet, chain 5, 4 double crochet, chain 5, 4 double crochet, and then I chain 2, and then remember I mentioned that I want to go one below to the body of the yellow one. So instead of doing the 4 double crochet inside the yellow and going one up in here, what I did a single crochet in the yellow, and then I did 4 double crochet that I have here with a pin. That way I try it on, and those will be sewn into this loop. Let me remove this, that way I show you. You see, I did a single crochet inside the space where I have the yellow marker. I kept the yellow marker there because I want to mark that that's the back of the piece. And then these 4 I will sew there when I do the other side, and I know that these look right for the arm. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do in the other side, and then if I try it on and they look right, and then I'll lose the tails, and then I'll continue with the body of the piece. But it's very easy to do. This is what I'm doing here. Let me put the pin back, and then I will show you in the other side what we're gonna do. But I don't want to sew this until I know for sure, because if I sew this and then it don't look right and I had to undo things, I may damage the loop in here. So now I'm going to show you on the other side, and I have to do it the other way around. I start in this on the front of our piece, But if I work in this one in the front of the piece, you see it will be don't gonna be exactly the same, because I will have to work on the wrong side. So to work in this, you have to go to the back. That way it's exactly the same. They have the same amount of loops. You will have to start. Remember, I want to move the marker for the back one more over. So I'm gonna leave it there, and instead of starting in here, I start in this one, and I do the single crochet in this one. That is exactly as this. You see, the single crochet is where the marker is. So in order to work, you have to do that. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. It makes sense. Otherwise, you don't gonna have the same amount of loops in the inside of your body. I zoom in a little bit, that way you guys can see a little bit closer what I'm doing in here. And this is the back of the piece. That's what I'm gonna start for this side, because I have the yellow marker that mark this is the back of my piece. If you want, you can grab another different marker or a pen or whatever you like, and you can mark the back of your piece in the center, and you know that's the back. And what you're gonna do in this side, you have to flip over to the right side and do it from the right side. That way they stay the same. But I'm thinking that I may do this one and I go and do the other one, undo and do it again, showing you, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of question how I did the other side, and like I don't show everything. I like to show everything. So I may do the other side too, undo and do it again. But exactly what I'm doing here, you're gonna do on the other side, just by flipping your working from the right side, from the front side, sorry, not the right side, the front side. So here is my marker for the back, and remember I say I'm gonna go one under for mine. You can work on yours in the same place where you have the marker, that's okay. But for mine, I'm gonna start in the one in here. That's what I did for the other side. That where I have the marker is where I have the single crochet. That's for the back. So I did a slip knot, slip knot, and I'm gonna go to the first chain space of this 5, and I'm gonna pass that loop, and I'm gonna chain 2. One and 2. I'm gonna come here at the space of chain 5 in here, and I'm gonna do a single crochet. Chain 2, and then that's a space where you did the slip knot. I will add first chain 2. You're gonna do your first single crochet, and in the next chain spaces you're gonna do your other 3 double crochet, 1 on each chain space. I already did this without connecting the this loop to this one, and didn't look right. It didn't look right. It looked weird. It look unfinished, messy, don't look nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're gonna turn your work around, and you're gonna do your 4 double crochet, 1 on each. Exactly the same as we've done so far. You're gonna chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're gonna turn your work, and you're gonna do your 4 double crochet. So like that, you're gonna continue until you have the length that you need for under the arm. And for me, this is the body of the piece. This part, I had 2 loops on that side, and I have 1 in the center under the arm. with one connected to this loop and another one in here. So you have to take that account if you have more chest or you have a little bit more wide back. You have to try this. Maybe you have to do 2 loops for under the arm and 3 for the body at your piece. So continue doing this, and when I finish this, that I have my other loop here, and I'm gonna work on the next loop to the other side. I will meet you here, and I will zoom out a little bit. So I have the loop for under the arm and the 2 loop for the body of the piece. I chain 2. I'm gonna come here. Here is the front marker. I'm gonna come to the one to the right. And I'm gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, and I'm gonna do my 4 double crochet. And those 4 double crochet, you have to sew them to that chain 5 space. But now's the time for you to cut a strand long enough, just in case if you have to do any changes, you will do that, because maybe you have to do more space in here. This is the size for my arm. This part is a little bit wavy, loose in the part at the top of my arm, but this part for the body is not wavy, it's perfect. So you have to keep that in mind. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pin this and try it on. Don't cut your yarn, just in case I had to do any changes on mine. I will let you know. So just a second. I'm gonna cut mine. I don't want mine to lose a little piece of yarn if I have to, but I don't want you guys doing that, so I'll let you know. Let me try it on first. I finished this part. I decided not to undo this because it's exactly the same as I showed you. The only thing that you're gonna start in the place where you have the marker on the front, and you go to one stitch, to one loop to the right and do the single crochet, and the same when you finish, you're gonna do your single crochet where you have the back marker, and then you're gonna sew in the loop beside. So that's what I'm gonna do. Lose all the tails. I tried it on and it looked good, and I'm gonna leave a couple of pictures here, that way you guys can see the way it look on me. I tried the best that I could to take those pictures by myself here at the house. So I have a sport bra on, so I want to exercise in a bit, so I took some pictures. I'm gonna leave them here just in case you want to see what it looks so far. Now I'm gonna sew these into those loops, lose the tails, and continue. The part that worries me more that you guys don't understand is the part where we do this. Okay, so I'm gonna explain one more time just in case. I know I'm repeating myself over and over, but for some of you guys are very advanced crocheter, it will be no problem understanding what I'm talking about, but some of you guys are more beginner and never crochet with me, and I do a little mumble jumble, sorry about that. So when you're gonna do this from the front to the back, you start where you have the marker, and then you do the single crochet to the loop to the right, and then you work your strip. Even if you, let's say I have my yellow marker where I want my strip to be sewn, you always do the single crochet to the loop to the right, where you want to sew that for double crochet. Don't matter if the marker is here, there, or whatever. It's where you want to sew. To the loop to the right is where you do the single crochet. Okay? So let me remove these markers. And then when you work to the back of the piece, you see, you start again in the loop where you want to start the strip, and then you do your single crochet to the right to the marker, and then you work your little strip and do the single crochet in here, and then this one is where you sew. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you guys get that clear. That's the only fiddly stuff. The other stuff is very, very easy to do. So I love this stitch that I have here. I'm going to continue working the entire piece with these strips like that. So now I have to do the chain 4 2 single crochet, chain 4 2 single crochet, and then do this, and then after I will do the strip. This time I don't want to do any increase because I don't want this to flare. I want to be straight. So what I'm going to do in each space, I will do one loop. But now let's say you have a little bit more chest. You can do every three single in one space, you can do one increase, or every 4 one increase. It's up to you. You figure out how many increases you want to do. For mine, it's going to be nice and straight. Even you want to do one and one with one loop and the other one with 2, it's okay. It will be nice and open. You can do a maxi dress with this, nice and open, nice and loose. It's up to you. You can do a blouse or you can do a dress. But as I progress, I will show you. So I counted the loops that I have open in here. That way I give you a little bit more detail of my piece. And I have these 5 chain 5 loops, 20 for the back without counting the ones under the arm, and I have 22 in the front. I just wanted, and again without counting these 2 on each side under the arm. Just wanted to give you that detail. So I'm going to start in one of these in the back, and I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 4 2 single crochet, chain 4 2 single crochet, and so on. So I will work on this, and I will let you know how I'm working on mine. I just wanted to give you the extra detail just in case you want to know the amount of loops that I have here. I'm gonna work under the arm, and here we have to do a little bit of a change from the single crochet. We're gonna do half double crochet in the same space where we saw the 4 double crochet in that loop. So you're gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're gonna do a yarn over, and in that space, in the little corner, you're gonna do 2 half double crochet, 1 and 2, and that will give you a little bit of height for the stitch there. You see, the same as you have in the other ones that they stick out. Otherwise they will be in. I will show you on the other side what I mean. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now 2 single crochet. It's only in that little corner. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to show you here. You see, even here I do 2 single crochet and I chain 4. It will be like that, you see, and this one is a little bit more out like the other stitches. And you only have to do that change here under the arm and this round, and those 2 corners in both arm. After that you continue exactly the same as you've done so far. And those 2 half double crochet to give a little bit of height in there. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2 single crochet. That's the only change that we're going to do in the stitch is in here. Other than that, everything will stay the same over and over. Something that I want to mention is you don't have to do the same stitch as I'm doing for mine. For example, and instead of doing the chain 4, 2 single crochet, you can do, for example, do some of these brook lace motifs. I have quite a few of them done, different motifs in the channel. And what you can do, you can attach them in here as you work the Arab strip, and you can do this all the way around, and then you can do one row of motifs, one row of brook lace straight, and so on. It's up to you, but for me, since I like the way this combination of the 2 stitches look, I like mine to be done like that for the length. I'm gonna down to do my exercise almost 2 o'clock. I thought I'm gonna have a chance to do the exercise earlier, but between doing this and other things, it took a little bit longer, so I'm gonna go down, exercise, and then after I'll continue with this. Well, I did 1 repetition of the motif, and I showed to my sister, and she said, that look like lace. Yeah, I said, that's brook lace. It's all done in crochet. So I did 1 of these, and I don't did any increase in the lower part, and it's perfect. Try it on and look perfect. I'm gonna continue working the same until I have the desired length for me. If I move this around like this, it will look, you see, a little bit like that, but that's normal because we have these on the round, and then now this one is more straight. As you work down, that will be perfect because you don't have that roundness from this part in here. And I tried this one on and it looked perfect. I absolutely love the way it looks. It fits the right size for me. So I'm gonna continue working the same without no increase in these strips. It's just 1 single crochet per chain 4 space, no increase. Now if you want to make this as a dress, after you finish with the torso, the part now that will go for the hip, that is a little bit wider, and then you will increase some stitches, and the increase is by doing 2 of these spaces and 1 space of chain 4. That will give you 2 loops in this side. So depending on the amount of increase that you do, the amount of loops extra you will have here. It's like we did here, exactly the same. We start with this one, look how smaller it is in here, and then when we did this one in here, we start doing increase, and then in this one you see how much bigger that one is. So you have to keep that account, the amount of increase you want to do. If you want it just a little bit wider, just do a few increases like I did for this one in here. If you want wider, like, and then you do more. You have to play around with that. So this will be just a blouse for me, so I'll continue doing this strip with no increase in this lower part each time I do this until I have the desired length. Oops, but I absolutely love it. This is the leftover from that ball of yarn. I only did 3 repetitions for the length for mine, so it's not very long, but I absolutely love this blouse. It looks amazing. So to mark the front side of our piece, I sew a handmade tag in the front. Usually I don't do this, but this is my first time and I absolutely love doing this. I like the way it looks, very artsy. It looks really nice, very put together. Like I mentioned before, if you want to make this bigger, you can do it bigger, you can do it smaller just by the increases that you do on your piece. If you do more increases as you work the first strip, this one will be bigger. And if you do more increase in this, it will get bigger and bigger, because the increases you do in the Brooke lace strip is where you do your increases, like you see in the video. And like I mentioned, if you want it as a blouse, you can do it as a blouse, or you can do it as a dress. And for the increases at the dress, I recommend not to increase all of at once in one strip, otherwise it will be very like a ruffle. So I recommend to increase in this one, a couple of increase in that one, a couple more in this one, a couple more in this one. Gradually increase your stitches, that way it gets bigger, and try it on. I recommend to try it on as you work your piece. I absolutely love this blouse, and I hope you guys like it, and give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this beautiful blouse or a dress or anything with this motif or design, and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family and in groups, even if they see the video just for a few minutes, and that will help me a lot here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.